toxic forever chemicals absorb through the skin. These PFAs are found in a huge amount of cosmetics. If we're putting them on our skin daily, they penetrate through the skin, go into our bloodstream. This could lead to things like
Sam and Kit Bowen-Russell, who really took skincare into their own hands.
Twin brothers from the UK who are taking the skincare industry by storm.
Sam is a nuclear astrophysicist, and Kit is a geophysicist and author.
A Notre Dame grad and his twin brother are looking to revolutionize skin health.
The two launched a 2-year intensive research study.
Two very smart guys who knew all about bad skin at a very early age.
That woman at the end was our mum, and really she's the face which launched 1,000 questions for us.
Right, Sam, welcome back. This week, we're going to talk about something which has been in the news a huge amount recently. So I'll just go straight into the big headline. The headline is toxic forever chemicals absorb through the skin. So that to you may not sound shocking. And obviously it's not that shocking to me as well, but it's because it came off the back of a huge amount of, it came off the back of a new research paper done by Birmingham University, didn't it?
I think so. You're the researcher. I don't read. Well, I do. I read the abstract and then the conclusion, and then that's it. Whereas you like delving into the detail.
Well, I'll let you into a secret. The vast majority of scientists actually do exactly the same as well. To be quite honest,
Yeah.
I've had papers which have been cited, and they haven't even read the main bulk of my conclusions, and they've misquoted me. So anyway, So we have these toxic chemicals, and they've been found in a new study by the University of Birmingham that they can be absorbed through the skin, and they can actually enter the bloodstream after 36 hours of exposure.
Wow. Well, I just change how you explained it a bit at the beginning about being shocked. I'm still shocked, as in the fact that it's very bad for our health, but I'm not surprised in any way because we know this happens all the time and we talk about it every single day.
Yeah, but the key here is that these are found, these PFAs as they call them, I'll get you to say the real name in a second. These PFAs are found in a huge amount of cosmetics. So if we're putting them on our skin daily and then being absorbed through the skin and they're still in our body after 36 hours, they penetrate through the skin, go into our bloodstream, and the bloodstream is taking them around the body. This could lead to things like organ harm and a huge amount of other health problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the implication here, for me, and you tell me what you think, is that what we're putting on our skin and the things we use in our bath, things we use to wash our face, our hair, our body, these things could be causing huge harm to the rest of the body, not just the skin as well.
Oh, that's taking another step up. Exactly, yeah. So, I mean, I think they've glossed over this article or paper. They're not really talking about how it damages the skin, are they? They're just saying it can be absorbed and be circulated around the body. Which is terrifying when most people think of the skin as like a car bonnet where it just completely stops and protects you against anything coming in. So you can the main point about people washing the skin is they just think that like a car, you can just scrub it for hours and make it look shiny with huge amounts of horrible chemicals. And not only will none of that change or damage the skin, but also none of it will go through. And that's why this paper is so interesting and shocking, yet nowhere near surprising.
Yeah, and I think the thing was that previously people thought that these things called PFAs, which is the shortened name, it's thought that they couldn't actually penetrate through the skin.
Oh, I see.
People were like, oh, it's fine. We're putting these toxic chemicals on our skin. That's fine because they don't penetrate through the skin.
Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong, as you say it? And that just points to this weird idea that the skin is just, you can do whatever the hell you like to it and nothing will happen.
Nothing. And like you said, they've forgotten though also, even if that was the case, that it couldn't be absorbed, what on earth is it doing to the skin microbiome, skin barrier? And therefore, what is it doing to the two things, chronic diseases on the skin and in the body? So we can come on to that. But that's the PFAs. People always talk about forever chemicals, don't they? what is the forever bit? What does that mean?
I think the forever bit just means that they don't actually break down as quick as other things, and they can just stick around for ages in the environment. So obviously, loads of environmentalists are worried about them because they don't get broken down well, so they can stick around for huge amounts of time. And obviously, because they're so alien to all of the ecosystems that we inhabit, and even our body as well, if they're sticking around in our body and ecosystems, they're causing a lot of damage. I've been watching Oz the Mentalist and Darren Brown, and they're always like, no, actually, wait, change it. So they always change it up, and they always get you to pick a card, and they say, no, scrap that, pick another one. And they always interject. They're very good at it. I love those. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, all the sales people will talk about pattern interrupts. But yeah, sorry for the pattern interrupt. We're trying to get you off PFAs and onto something else.
Can I just say, final thing on Oz the Mentalist and people like that is, you would love the book, Sam. It's all about being able to read people and then gain what you want. So it's essentially sales, which you'd be really interested in. I'll get you the books. I'll get you the book. Okay, cool. But the huge point about this, Sam, was that it was picked up by The Telegraph, which is one of the biggest newspapers in the UK. And I'm sure there was a load of other newspapers and media outlets which picked this one up, but The Telegraph was the one we picked up on because it is so big. Right. And a journalist called Emma Gatton wrote about it in The Telegraph earlier this year.
Well, I mean, that's good. It's amazing. It's picked up by The Telegraph. But in my eyes, the way I see it is this should be one of the biggest environmental scandals ever. I mean, why isn't everyone not picking up on it and putting it front page? Like there's like you talked about the environmental people, and then there's the MAHA people, Make America Healthy Again. All of these people, and that should be plastered across the front pages of everything that they do and read. And it doesn't seem to be. So I agree it's been picked up by The Telegraph, but it should be far bigger than it is, because having these forever chemicals circulating in your bloodstream doesn't sound like it's going to end well. Let's put it that way.
Oh, no, exactly. But again, I think just the line where they thought that it wouldn't penetrate the skin was just saying, oh, that's okay then. Right, if it's on the skin and it's toxic and it's on, that's absolutely fine. I just want to go into quickly what PFAs have been linked to. So obviously they're called toxic chemicals by someone involved in the study as well. But they've been linked to things like disrupting the immune system, impaired liver function, and decreased birth rate. So they have a huge amount of whole body problems, which go much beyond, say, just the skin.
Right, yeah. So, yeah, it doesn't sound good, does it?
No, and I want to read you out a quote from Dr. David Megson, who is actually at Manchester Metropolitan University. But he said that most of the population are inadvertently covering themselves in PFAs when dressing and applying makeup. So he says that these toxic chemicals are slowly leaching into us and may be leading to a wide range of adverse health effects. So again, to round off, Sam, we're nearing the section where we say, why the hell does any normal person matter? Which is a good question. So bearing in mind that last quote, why the hell does any normal person care about this? Sorry, I think I said wrong last. I said, why the hell does any normal person matter? What I meant was, not why do they matter, why would they care at all about this?
Yeah, I mean, why they matter is a whole nother podcast, which I think will go on longer than 15 minutes. And many people have asked that question, but this one's a bit easier to answer, I'd say. Why does it matter? If you've got toxic chemicals circulating in your bloodstream, if it was coming from, say, the environment and in small amounts, but you're choosing to put it on daily in terms of cosmetics and also in clothes and everything that you use daily. So having these going through your skin and circulating is going to be terrible for your whole body health. And like you said, they're linked, the chemicals themselves are linked to whole body problems, but then there's so many problems that they cause or inadvertently cause without the research saying so yet.
Exactly, yeah. So again, it's another minefield. just opened up. But I think the fact that, imagine that it was just one of those niche things which only affected a small part of the population. But if, as Dr. David Megson, and you, obviously more eminent than him, if you both say that most of the population are inadvertently covering themselves in these toxic chemicals, then that's a societal-wide problem. It's not some tiny little niche problem which only affects a corner of the population, is it?
No, exactly. And then, like you said, if people aren't at this stage worrying about whether it's going on their skin from cosmetics, they are now going to be and should be worried about it going into their bloodstream from cosmetics that they're using every single day. So that should be the massive headline, that you're choosing to put these PFAs not only on you, but then therefore absorbed into you.
Exactly. And I think that's a really good place to end, because, again, just shows that the skin is being destroyed by all of these cosmetics. And then the question is, what adverse health effects is this causing in the rest of the body, not just the skin?
Well, yeah. I also want to say, too, in terms of, say, specifically cosmetics companies that contain them, because we've done a whole host of other podcasts and talks, papers about a whole range of other toxic chemicals. So each time we talk about this new set of toxic chemicals, there's so many of them that are just in cosmetics, and the companies putting them in cosmetics, especially when they're being branded and marketed as ones for natural, pure, whatever the term is that the consumer is asking for, especially when they're putting them in that is another massive scandal. So it's, in my eyes, that's the biggest scandal, that people should be in uproar about, the consumer, that they're being filled full of these chemicals. We had one last week that was 53% of women with hormone disrupting or carcinogen in their chemicals. One before that was about how 3 days of stopping the cosmetics use completely or really stopped this huge amount of toxic chemicals in their bloodstream and urine. So that's just a massive scandal when we're filling our bodies with these daily.
Yeah, I think you hit on a good point there. This is only one set of toxic chemicals, and each study normally focuses on one or a few different kinds of these toxic chemicals, but there's hundreds out there, aren't there? So really, you need one study to say, all right, well, go away and don't put PFAs on your skin. Then this other one said, don't put these carcinogens on your skin and things like that. But there's so many of them. That's going to build up and build up. But that was a good summing up, Sam. I think it's time to end there.
Back next week for the next chemical that people are surprised that is in their cosmetics and in their bloodstream.
Yeah, exactly. The next industry expose.